Hey, Dallas, shut the fuck up. Y'all keep booing, I'ma keep doing. Bunch of bitches.
Jake Paul is in critical condition after taking a punch from Mike Tyson to the face. The fight was supposed to take place on July 20th. At a press conference in Dallas, Jake expressed his desire to bury Tyson next to his daughter. Very funny. We all knew that Jake's miserable situation had already been planned and written in gold the moment he decided to mess with Mike Tyson. But before we get into how bad Jake's condition is right now, let's look at what made Tyson break the rules and silence Jake so forcefully. The boxing world will never forget the heated press conference that took place at Madison Square Garden on May 20th, 2024, which was meant to promote the upcoming boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson scheduled for July 20th. Jake Paul wasn't just trash talking, he went way beyond that. It was like a mouse giving a death threat to a lion. The room was buzzing with tension, but Jake didn't stop there. He went straight for Mike Tyson's heart, making deeply personal and offensive remarks about Tyson's family and his late trainer, Cus D'Amato. Jake crossed the ultimate line when he said, "Cus D'Amato's legacy is overrated. He couldn't even protect his own. Look where you are now, Mike. Wasn't he supposed to make you invincible?" The room went silent and Tyson's face twisted with rage. Those words didn't just sting, they ripped open old wounds. The atmosphere became supercharged. Jake continued to provoke Tyson, even mocking Tyson's deceased child. This attack was beyond the pale and everyone could feel the shift. The air was electric and everyone knew something big was about to go down. Jake said, "Even your own blood couldn't survive your shadow, Mike. What kind of father does that make you?" And then it happened. Tyson's reaction was immediate and explosive. The anger and pain in his eyes were crystal clear. The room, packed with media and spectators, held its breath. When I say Jake can't see with one eye or speak with his twisted jaw, you're probably wondering just how hard Tyson punched him. Let me explain. Tyson roared and lunged across the stage, his fist a blur as it smashed into Jake's face with all the anger and pain he could muster. The sound of Tyson's knuckles meeting Jake's face echoed around the room, followed by a collective gasp from the audience. Security rushed in immediately, but they were too late to stop the initial beatdown. It took several guards to pull Tyson away as he strained to get at Jake. The scene was pure chaos, shouting, camera flashes, and everyone scrambling to restore some order. After the dust settled, there was Jake Paul on the ground, looking like he'd been run over by a truck. His once cocky smile was gone, replaced by shock and pain. Blood trickled from a cut above his eye, and his face started swelling up like a balloon. People in the room said it felt like a flashback to Tyson's brutal knockouts from back in the day. Even Max Kellerman, the famous boxing commentator, was stunned. Jake, once a promising fighter, now lay battered and broken, a victim of his own actions. "I've never seen anything escalate this quickly at a press event," Kellerman said. The boxing community was buzzing after this incident. Evander Holyfield, Tyson's old rival and current friend, chimed in. "Mike's temper is legendary, but this was a side of him I hoped was in the past. Jake Paul pushed him too far, and now we see the consequences." Jake's injuries were no joke. He had multiple facial fractures, a broken nose, and a shattered cheekbone. Doctors said he'd need surgery to fix the damage. His team put out a statement saying, "Jake is recovering, but the extent of his injury means he will need time to heal. We are considering our options regarding the upcoming fight." The severity of the attack had immediate fallout. Promoters and organizers started wondering if the July 20th fight could still happen. Tyson, though, wasn't feeling sorry. He just said, "He crossed the line. This is what happens." The boxing world was left in a mess. What was supposed to be an exciting showdown turned into a real-life brawl with serious consequences. Jake Paul wanted to provoke Tyson, and boy did he succeed, just not in the way he hoped. People had mixed reactions. Some fans felt sorry for Jake, thinking he was just a victim of Tyson's uncontrollable rage. One fan tweeted, "Jake was out of line, but no one deserves to be beaten like that," capturing the feelings of those who thought Jake got more than he deserved. However, a lot of the boxing community and fans sided with Tyson. They believed Jake's big mouth earned him every punch he got. Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith said Jake promptly retracted his statement, realizing how absurd it was to challenge a legend like Tyson. Most people in this camp felt Jake had crossed the line and got exactly what was coming to him. Jake's public rants and videos only added fuel to the fire. His emotional outbursts, combined with the sketchy nature of his injury claims, made people even more divided. Videos of Jake breaking down, visibly upset and frustrated, spread like wildfire. He he was seen saying, "I don't know how this got so out of hand. I just wanted to hype the fight, not end up in the hospital." This whole mess also showed how much pressure Jake was under, despite his cocky public persona. Facing a legend like Mike Tyson was clearly getting to him. His emotional breakdown revealed a side of him no one had really seen before, making things even more complicated for the YouTube star turned boxer. As days went by, fans continued to argue on social media and sports news. Some defended Jake's actions as just part of hyping the fight, while others thought his tactics were reckless and disrespectful. This incident highlighted the fine line between hype and hostility and the real-life consequences of crossing that line in professional boxing. But do you really think Tyson was going to stay quiet while Jake Paul made up all those ridiculous accusations? No way. Tyson didn't waste a second calling Jake out on his fake injury claims. "You see that stunt he pulled on you with the cast hooks and bandages? They're all fake," Tyson said. Then, to make things more interesting, people started spotting Jake Paul out and about acting perfectly fine just days after the so-called incident. Jake was seen at a popular bowling alley in Los Angeles. Eyewitnesses said he was using the same hand he claimed was injured. He was spotted at a bowling game a few days ago using the same hand he displayed on the screen. "To you all for bowling," Tyson pointed out, highlighting the obvious inconsistency. The media jumped on these discrepancies like a dog on a bone, with headlines questioning the truth behind Jake's injuries. Tyson's relentless mission to expose Jake's supposed cowardice became the hot topic. "This kid crossed every limit. I was forced to do something," Tyson said, defending his actions and making it clear that Jake's antics were not just disrespectful, but also dangerous. Tyson's accusations gained more weight when Jake was seen out at a friend's party, engaging in activities that seemed pretty impossible if he were truly injured. These sightings made Tyson's claims even more believable and started to turn public opinion. The media, of course, couldn't get enough of this drama. Sports analysts and commentators picked apart every new piece of info, creating a storm of speculation and debate. Big names in the boxing world weighed in, mostly siding with Tyson. Former heavyweight champ Lennox Lewis said, "If Jake is really hurt, why is he out there? It just doesn't add up." But you won't believe what Jake did next. He filed a $300 million lawsuit against Mike Tyson, adding a dramatic legal twist to their already intense rivalry. Filed on May 25, 2024, in the New York Supreme Court, Paul's lawsuit accuses Tyson of aggression and making life-threatening remarks. "Tyson went way overboard. He threatened my life," Paul cried in his legal filing, referring to Tyson's explosive reaction during the press conference. The legal battle from both sides has been intense and all over the news. Paul's legal team claims that Tyson's actions were not just physically harmful, but also amounted to criminal threats. They argue that the press conference left Paul with severe emotional distress and physical injuries, which they say have been verified by medical professionals. Tyson's defense, on the other hand, is calling out Paul's claims as exaggerated and ridiculous. "This whole thing is a joke. They think a lawsuit and a couple of scratches are going to scare me off," Tyson scoffed during an interview with ESPN on May 28, 2024. His lawyers argue that Paul's injuries are nowhere near as severe as he claims and that his emotional distress is just an act to gain sympathy. The potential impact of this lawsuit on the fight's future and Tyson's legacy is huge. If Paul's claims hold up, Tyson could face severe financial penalties and legal restrictions, which could mess up his ability to compete. The fight, set for July 20th, 2024, is now up in the air, with promoters and fans wondering if it will even happen. Public reaction to the lawsuit has been all over the place. Supporters of Jake Paul argue that he has the right to seek justice for what they see as an unprovoked and violent attack.
Up. I don't give a fuck, dude. Look.
Joe Rogan recently reacted to the news that Jake Paul has pulled out of his fight with Mike Tyson. Initially, Jake Paul was very confident, boasting that he would defeat the older boxing legend and emerge victorious. However, at a recent press conference, Jake Paul unexpectedly announced that he is quitting the match, leaving everyone in shock. Before we delve into Joe Rogan's anger, let's understand why he's so furious. Take a look at this.
I literally can't wait to look across the ring and see him and give him a death stare. I want to see, bro. Let's see all the legends, the myths, because you're Iron Mike Tyson, but I have an iron chin. People know that. Like, I take shots, so I think people are underestimating me being able to deal with his power, and that is something that is going to make it interesting.
Here are some glimpses into Jake Paul's confident words. His desperation to fight Mike Tyson is evident. He can't wait to prove to the world that this new Disney YouTuber can take on the legendary Mike Tyson. Jake's ability to draw attention and generate significant pay-per-view sales is impressive. However, his career has faced criticism regarding the level of competition he has faced, and his loss to Tommy Fury highlighted the challenges he encounters when fighting experienced boxers. Jake has a few wins against some NBA players and hobbyist YouTubers who thought it would be fun to step into the boxing ring. No doubt he's a talented boxer, but thinking he could beat Tyson was a mistake he can't undo. Jake didn't stop there. He leaked his own training footage as showing that he's targeting Mike with top trainers and a team prepping him for Tyson. He even said, Mikey, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see," borrowing Muhammad Ali's signature line. Jake is stepping into the ring with a YouTuber's mindset, borrowing lines from Ali and tattoos from Mike. Unsurprisingly, he gathered a lot of criticism. Every boxing expert advised him not to make it official, warning he'd regret it, but he didn't listen. When everything was set and the tickets were almost sold out, Jake announced he was quitting the fight. Don't you think Joe Rogan's reaction is completely justified? Here were his first words upon getting the news while sitting in a podcast. "I don't give a damn, dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional boxer." Yes, Jake had called out a real boxer, the baddest man on the planet, but now he's quitting the fight. Okay, Jake, we get it. You want to save your life. You've realized that this exhibition fight won't give you the same chance it gave Roy Jones Jr. There will be no contract about not hitting in the head this time. You would have to bear Mike Tyson's punches landing straight on your face and get insurance for your body parts. Now, with this realization hitting you, poof, you're out. Joe Rogan's frustration is palpable. He saw Jake's overconfidence as a ticking time bomb. Jake Paul talked big, borrowing phrases from legends and hyping himself up. But when faced with the reality of fighting Tyson, it seems he backed out. Rogan's anger is more than justified. Like many fans, he was looking forward to this clash of generations, only to be disappointed by Jake's retreat. Moreover, it's not like Jake cancelled the fight out of the blue. He showed signs of fear a few days back. While sitting with Mike Tyson, he said,
"All that stuff you just said don't mean shit. You never drew 100 million people or 70 million people to the fight, have you?
Around like 75 million.
You never helped boxing before. Boxing helped you.
But that's what the sport needed.
Fight.
No way. Bro, like, shut up.
Jake was trying to tell Mike that whatever he does it for the sport or to entertain people. But asking Iron Mike for a fight isn't just about entertainment anymore. Do you know what elite means? It signifies something specific, something not readily available to just anyone. Mike Tyson embodies this elite status. As Joe Rogan said, Tyson is an exceptionally skilled boxer. His combinations, movement, footwork, and countering skills make him a professional of the highest caliber.
Very elite boxer. Like, I'm watching the combinations he throws, his movement, the way he steps and sets up shots, the way he's countering. He's a very high-level boxer. He's a real professional caliber boxer.
Jake can't just mess around with Tyson for fun. Tyson roasted Jake, asking if he had ever drawn even 100 million or 75 million viewers. The obvious answer is no. Jake hasn't and probably can't on his own. That's why he asked Tyson to step in. Joe Rogan revealed the strategy behind Jake's move,
saying it's a brilliant move by Jake because, like, if he was going to fight anybody else, people would watch, but would the same amount of people watch? No.
saying it's brilliant because while people would watch Jake fight anyone, they wouldn't watch in the same numbers as they would if Tyson was involved. With Tyson in the ring, people went crazy, eager to see him beat Jake Paul. Now, with the fight cancelled, people are even more upset. Jake has invited a lot of negativity by disrespecting Tyson, an undisputed heavyweight champion. Mike Tyson started boxing at 10 years old after a boy killed one of his pigeons, leading Tyson to retaliate physically. This incident marked the beginning of his journey into fighting and boxing. His passion for pigeons has continued throughout his life. Even at the height of his fame, Tyson has maintained pigeon coops and cares for them. So, how can Jake, with just 4 years of experience, claim he can beat a man who has been fighting for 48 years? Joe Rogan bluntly pointed out that Joe Frazier's son fought Tyson, resulting in a swift defeat that lasted only 30 seconds.
Joe Frazier had been talking shit about Tyson, that he was in his prime, he would beat Tyson, and so he had his son fight Tyson, and it was an execution. It was an execution.
Tyson's explosive power and aggressive style made history, leaving Frazier mentally numb. Jones Jr. shared an unforgettable memory with boxing legends Shane Mosley and Mike Tyson, recalling Tyson as the strongest puncher he's ever faced. The first time Tyson hit Jones in the chest, it felt like a mule kick. This kind of raw power has left a lasting impression on everyone who has faced Tyson. Jones mentioned that if Tyson hits anyone with such force, they are either going down or out. Unlike seasoned heavyweight champions like Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis, who have endured Tyson's blows, Jake Paul lacks the experience and resilience to absorb such punishing strikes. Jones emphasized that while fighters like Holyfield and Lewis can withstand Tyson's onslaught, Paul might find himself vulnerable to Tyson's ferocious power. Similarly, Alexander Usyk harshly judged Jake Paul, suggesting he stop boxing. Usyk's words highlight the challenges Paul faces balancing his internet influencer career with professional boxing. Joe Rogan remarked that after taking hits like Tyson's, Jake might reconsider his boxing career. Rogan pointed out that Tyson still trains daily with Rafael Cordero, a legend in the MMA world, maintaining his devastating power. Rogan's message to Jake was clear. Tyson is not to be underestimated, no matter his age. What do you think? Will Mike forgive Jake for this insult, or is there a whole new era of battle waiting for us?